Shalom Uvrach and welcome to the weekly piece on the Parsha from Torah Giants on Chumash, written by Rabbi Rabbi Goodman, the Rabbi Emeritus of Yingishov Rockaway. Sit back and enjoy.
Welcome to Torah Giants on Chumash. I'm Steve Geller. Rabbi Goodman is going to focus this week's piece on a stunningly beautiful aspect of our Parsha, one many of us likely miss as we've read it over the years. Yosef lifted his eyes and saw Binyamin, his brother, son of Rachel, and he said, "Is this your little brother that you spoke to me about?" Vayomer, and then he said, "Elokim yachnecha b'ni, may Hashem be gracious with you." The root word of yachnecha is chein, loosely translated as grace. Rashi explains, based on a midrash, that since Yaakov had given his children this bracha before his youngest was born, Yosef blesses Binyamin now. Why was this blessing so significant that Yosef remembered it over 20 years later and felt Binyamin had to have it? Let's take a look at the concept of chein and the enormous power of this particular midah. We all grew up thinking that Noah was saved from the Mabul because he was a tzaddik in his generation. However, Chazal tell us that that's not the case. At the end of Parsha Bereshis, V'yinachem Hashem, and Hashem regretted having made mankind on earth. Two psukim later, V'noach matzah chein be'enei Hashem. Noah found chein in the eyes of Hashem. When the passuk says Hashem regretted creating man and the earth, it's not about the people committing sin, for if it were, the people who were not guilty of sin would be spared. Tzaddikim, those under 20 who aren't punished for their sins, etc. This leads the Or HaChaim HaKadosh to say that Hashem regretted creating the world, but Noah was saved because he found chein in the eyes of Hashem. What's fascinating is that the root of the Hebrew word for regret, vayinachem, is nun ches, literally Noah's name. Chein is ches nun, the opposite of the Hebrew word for regret. Literally, the midah keneged midah of Hashem's regret is the midah of chein attributed to Noah, which was why he was saved, according to the Or HaChaim. Chein is also the subject of the middle bracha of the Birkas Kohanim. Hashem panavei lecha, may Hashem illuminate his countenance to you, vichuneka, and be gracious to you. Again, the root is the word chein. Hashem's bracha of chein grants us the supernatural ability to survive the tribulations of centuries of galus. Fittingly, this middle bracha corresponds to the middle patriarch, Yitzchak, whose miraculous birth in Sarah's old age was itself supernatural. In his commentary on Chanukah, briefly discussed in Bereshis, Siman Daled, the Maharal depicts two numbers as being supernatural, 8 and 50. For just as 8 is beyond 7, the number symbolizing nature, 50 is beyond the natural number of 7 times 7, which is 49. And indeed, throughout Jewish law and history, these numbers indicate supernatural events. The Hebrew word chein, ches nun, ches equals 8, and nun equals 50, hence its powerful blessing of supernatural grace and divine protection. In the Haftarah this week, Shabbos Chanukah, the holiday of 8, Zechariah calls out chein to what some commentators interpret as the third Beis HaMikdash. But doesn't the magnificent Beis HaMikdash of Mashiach warrant more than mere chein? Earlier in the Haftarah, however, Zechariah learns that Hashem has placed 7 eyes on every stone of the second Beis HaMikdash. This number suggests that the second Beis HaMikdash was built under natural law, hence its inevitable destruction. In contrast, following Zechariah's next vision, in which 7 predominates, an angel explains, not through an army, the first Beis HaMikdash, and not through strength, the second Beis HaMikdash, but through spirit, the third Beis HaMikdash will be built. Given the supernatural connotation of chein, we now understand Zechariah's choice of words. For as the Midrash tells us, the third Beis HaMikdash will come straight from heaven, pre-assembled, and will stand forever. It's fascinating that both the Maharal, explaining the significance of ches and nun being supernatural numbers, is in his commentary on Chanukah, and Zechariah's Haftarah is read on Shabbos Chanukah. Could it be a coincidence that even the word Chanukah starts with ches nun? The Gaon, HaRav Eytan Feiner of the White Shul in Far Rockaway, has spoken on the concept of chein and the connection to 8 and 50. Just as chein is created by the juxtaposition of 8 and 50, its essence, therefore, is all about lamal min hateva. There is no word in English that can truly capture the word's real meaning. Grace, charm, just doesn't do it. Chein is something otherworldly in nature, just just like the otherworldly nature of the 8-day Chanukah miracle, revolving around Shemin, Shmini, and Shmona, Chashmanayim, and the lone jar of sealed oil with the seal of the Kohen Gadol, who dons 8 garments. What was the urgency of Yosef's bracha of chein to Binyamin, with its connotation of life as seen with Noach, and eternity as seen with the third Beis HaMikdash that should come soon, God willing, and contained in the word Chanukah itself, which is all about Jewish survival and eternity? It could also explain the tribe of Binyamin's extraordinary comeback from near extinction later in Jewish history. Down to 600 males by the tragic conclusion of Shoftim, Binyamin subsequently emerges as vibrant as any other tribe, even producing our first king of Israel, Shaul HaMelech. All of this suggests Yosef's motivation to bless Binyamin here in our parsha with this magical midah of chein. Just a deep, rich, and beautiful understanding of a seemingly minor pasuk that opens a world of meaning from Rabbi Goodman. And all of this is why you should like this video, subscribe to our channel, and tell your friends and family so none of you miss another amazing treasure from Rabbi Goodman's masterpiece, Torah Giants on Chumash.